and welcome to the show. So people are saying that Cape Town has become this hub for lots of activity and things happening, and one of the places where things happen in Cape Town is the convention centre. So something big is happening there, and that's the Factory Shop Expo, and Shahida van der Schreef is here. She's the CEO. She's going to tell us all about it. I know that when we think about factory shops, we have this funny idea, and we're going to dispel that myth too. Shahida, welcome to the show.
Shukran, Faizal, for having me.
Now, it's exciting because, I must be honest, I'm one of those people that go and scratch by things. And I want to see things and different things, and especially if there's technology also, then I'll be scratching around. But I'm not sure what you have going at the Factory Shop Expo. I know it's 4 years. I know that there's lots of work involved. You are a mover and shaker yourself. That's what I've been hearing. You've been doing all these things. Yeah. I want to talk about that first, about you, because I know if I understand that, then I know what drives your shows.
Definitely.
Who is Shahida?
Well, look, Faizal, I've been doing this for the past 10 years already. And I originally started out, just in your general event planning. And I realized that there's obviously something bigger and better. And I challenged myself and I said, you know what? I really want to host my own show at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. I'm sure you can imagine, where am I going? I haven't done that before. What idea, what concept?
And so you had this vision, and it was just about following that vision.
Yeah, it just sort of popped out of nowhere. Early breakfast table, and it's like corporate functions, done that, got the t-shirt, done weddings, done this. I want to do something bigger, better. And then not only that, I actually felt that I wanted to do something that I could actually give back, to the community, and actually say, okay, here's something, for businesses or for shoppers, and, maybe start a fund and start donating. And so how do I do that? And that obviously led to the idea of having to give something on a bigger scale. So yeah, that led me to the convention center. I had to pitch ideas, different ones, and eventually I came up with a good one, which was the Chocolate and Candy Expo in 2013.
It sounds very sweet, I must admit.
It was, and it was actually brilliant because it wasn't only just chocolates and candies, it was everything related to, your yummy treats. So
was that your first one?
That was my very first show. Well, look, nobody knew I could do it. Everybody was just sort of like, they didn't know what to expect. Neither did I. I expected.
I've got this philosophy in life, and I say that I know that my business partner calls it something. He calls it the not invented yet syndrome. Okay. That's what he calls it. So we've ascribed it to some medical terminology. But I'll tell you something. Okay. When you go out there and you do something, I always tell people that people will come up to you and say, why are you doing that? Why didn't you do it like this? Yeah. Why should you do that? Do you want to be different? Yeah. I say, hell yes, you should be different. Yeah. Because if you are not different, then guess what? You don't believe in your own personal truth. You need to be different. You need to build up your own brand. Yeah. And if people don't like that, you need to ask them one question, and that is, have you done it before? And if you have not, don't advise me. That's my philosophy.
Advice. That's brilliant. You know what? I felt that if I wasn't being challenged, I didn't feel a fear. And I feel like I need to sort of be like ticking. Something needs to get me going. And so that led to that event. I kind of expected about 5,000 people over the weekend. That would have made me joyous, and I would have been
So that was the aim and the goal.
That was the aim. Faizal, we saw 20,000 people.
People love sugar.
It was
love sugar.
Yes, chaos. Which was brilliant though, because that opened CTICC's
like
eyes
to
Shahida van der Schreef, and they were like, wow.
So it's like putting a bar of chocolate on the floor, and the ants just...
And so I proved the fact that my concepts were brilliant, my marketing was on point, and that I could definitely do this.
So that gave you the drive to go big and better.
Definitely. And and that sort of spiraled out to different companies approaching me and saying, hey, come on board, you did this, do the marketing person. Wow, we love the layout of your show. Don't you want to do the layout for our show? And just sort of building myself on different shows. And then eventually Factory Shop was the next.
Where did that come from? Because let me start from the beginning with Factory Shops. When we think about Factory Shops, we have this idea and philosophy that it's some cheap line clothing or it's some holes in socks or something, and that's what we're yes, exactly, and it's all the rejects that you're going to buy. Is it really that, or
no, Faizal? Being a mom of 3 kids, I definitely don't want a hole in my pocket. I'm definitely a wise shopper, and I thought that if that's the way I'm thinking, everybody, and on top of our economy and what everybody's going through, you want to kind of save, everybody's about the savings, and that's where the whole factory shop concept came about. And it's not just factory shops, it's giving people good quality product at factory prices. So that was the element there.
So that's the big key, it's good quality at factory shop prices.
Right. Factory shop prices. That is really what it's all about. And I get a lot of people, like you said, that thinks, it's all tattered and torn, and it's not, I don't wear factory clothes. And then I kind of like laugh at them because they don't really know what's going on. You could get top designers in the show that is doing a clearance sale. So it would be like off the ramp, and they're sitting with designer coats. They come to factory shop, slash the prices, and that's the type of deals that you're actually getting at the show.
So I know that you had this last year, and the year before, it's the 4th year.
Yes.
Did you sort of see people leaving the venue with all these bags of things going? Because
I think a lot of people came through the door not knowing, and I think they just sort of was really, really interested to come and check it out and what it was all about. And definitely walking away with lots of bags, but not only that, spending a longer period of time in the show than what I thought, because we've got a lovely food court area there. You can actually get something to eat and watch the show, and fashion shows and whatever's going on. So people kind of made a day of it. It wasn't just like I'm popping in and getting
family
something.
Environment. Are there things for kids also?
There are so many different commodities in the show. We have 130 exhibitors / shops. So a little bit of everything. Everything from household, clothing, accessories, like you're saying, for kids as well. So it's not just, set to one thing. You can find a little bit of everything there. Yeah.
So you saw the need. I know that we spoke briefly about economy, and we know that any economy in the world, I'm sure there are certain economies, but generally the sentiment around the world is that we have a burdening economy, and when that happens, people sort of shift and say, are we so brand conscious? Do we need to be brand conscious? People are sort of suffering to do the minor things in life, and if you are brand conscious, that's fine. That's you can afford it. But there are people, and the majority of people in this country and in South Africa and this continent, Africa, don't go by every day with something decent to eat. So while that's all happening, do we still sit back and say, you know what, I can't go to a factory shop? Really?
I think people need to also change their overall look at it altogether with. I mean, our local businesses, we need to start supporting these people. What is a factory shop, Faizal? Go to Salt River, go to Woodstock, it's a house, a garage. There's 50 people sitting behind a machine, and that specific garment that you think is just a piece of material, once it's cut and stitched and, they actually put the brand on it, then it suddenly becomes...
So I sometimes wear a brand, and everyone knows the brand. It's maybe perhaps the Hemisphere brand. They've seen it on TV before. And so there's a Hemisphere little badge here, and people know it. It's probably from Truworths or something like that. But I must be honest with you, I don't care about it. If I go out, I don't tell people, nobody asks me, were you at Truworths stores? Likewise, if you're buying something from the factory shop, is people going to ask you, did you buy that from the factory shop? So what's the point?
There isn't really. I think the show really is giving all businesses, including factory shops, manufacturers, local businesses, the opportunity to trade and to market themselves, and in the same breath giving you and myself and all the visitors a great shopping experience, but offering us these bargains and offering us these discounts, and and giving us the best prices under one roof for one weekend only. So
you alluded to the idea of empowerment, and that's maybe something I want to talk about from an SMME point of view. Everyone's talking about local business empowerment, people are talking about economy, everything that we do, people want an angle on the side to find out why they need to support. And I think one of the angles is empowerment through business and smaller business. I know that, we have this thing, and with all due respect to the Chinese people, I really love them. But the point is that South Africans stand by saying, why is everything made in China? Everything I go and buy, made in China. Now, you know what? Now we have something that comes and exposes our own brands, and then people will sit back and say, I don't wear factory shop things. You need to decide where you are.
Crazy.
You need to decide where you are.
And and people would come in and say, oh, we expected this specific one year and this specific one year. And I'd be like, wow, you know what? They actually sell the exact same thing, and it's cheaper. Why wouldn't you want that?
Now you're expecting 16,000 people.
Faizal, that was last year.
Yeah.
So last year we saw 16,000 people. I'm hoping to see a little bit more this year. I'm putting a lot of effort into the show. And I think our exhibitors are working hard at getting that exposure.
You're fully booked out from an exhibitor point of view.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
So people that want to come and join, that's not going to work. The only thing is to wait for next year. You can take a bigger venue.
There is actually applications open for next year already.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, a lot of guys. We have 130 this year. Next year we're going to have 145. So every year we go a little bit bigger so we can add more and put a little bit more in there. We are currently fully booked in all commodities, which is a brilliant thing. That's fantastic. But if you missed it this year, please contact us and get on the list, for next year. If you've got something really cool and interesting, I'd really like to know about it. And
tell us about your exhibitors a bit, because I think when people talk about factory shop, they're only thinking about clothing. Are we only looking at clothing exhibitors, or are there a range of things that's probably accessories?
You know what? Let's start with home decor and stuff. If you're looking for mattresses and beds and stuff, but some really good deals there as well. You like general decor.
So there are those items on sale too.
Definitely. You know what? Last year it was like, I'll tell you a joke. This guy got this mattress and he was so ecstatic, Faizal. He's like, wow, I saw the same thing just in the mall, and oh my word, wow, and he literally, him and his wife, carried the mattress out like on their shoulders through the show. Can you envision that?
And the rest is history.
Yeah, and there was like all these people, and he wouldn't wait, because the guy said to him, no worries, we'll deliver it, and la la la. And he was and that just goes to show the type of deals that are at the show. It's that good that you want to sort of walk away with it, and he literally did. Okay, he picked his mattress up and he walked out. Yeah, so these household...
So he wasn't sleeping at all?
Oh no, definitely. Him and his wife were like, we've got the deal we came for, and out they go. That's also something to mention, because we've got long lines, the doors open at 9. People stand at 7:30 in the morning because they know what they want. They know that there might be a certain quantity per item that are...
It's about that entry. We've got people coming up, queuing at the door. There must be an entry fee for all of that. Does it give you access all day? What's the cost to that?
Correct. So tickets are 50 Rand, which they can purchase at CompuTicket.
Is this constant for kids and...
kids under 10 are free.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so mom, you can pop all your prams and your kids in with you, and that shouldn't be a problem. And then...
CompuTicket only not available at the door?
At the door, we do have tickets at the door, but we advise that, go and get your ticket online, because you've got it in your hand. There are slightly shorter lines for pre-ticket sales, obviously, because you don't have to go through, the whole paying process. So it's slightly quicker to get through the door. I do know that over 4 years, we've noticed that a lot of people would be like, I got in the door quicker, I had my ticket. And that's why I'm just really trying to promote that and say, you don't have to be standing that early in the line. Get your coffee, get your breakfast, buy your ticket beforehand. You're gonna be okay, that type of thing. And it's been quite a job and a half trying to keep all these thousands of people happy in that line, waiting to get in there. So get your ticket online.
Dates. What dates exactly are we starting and ending?
Okay, trading days are the 30th and 31st of July. That's Saturday and Sunday. Saturday,
Sunday. What time does it start?
Doors open at 9 and close at 6 both days.
Close at 6, right? Okay, so that's an extensive approach, and where people can come out, spend the day there perhaps.
Yes.
I know that if you're going into town, into Cape Town, into the Cape Town region, or if you're here from different cities, it would be a nice thing for you to get a feel of all of that.
Definitely. I would say it's not only a great shopping experience. It's just the interaction and the entertainment and the vibe that's inside the show is so magnificent, really. And all these exhibitors as well, from all these different levels of businesses are now submerging and getting to know one another. And there's been so many success stories in the previous years. Just to give you an indication, there was this young lady and she was manufacturing what I believe you call a snood today, which was like a wraparound scarf. I went and
That's what they call it.
Yeah. And I went to her place and we sat down and we looked at what she had, and I thought, wow, this is a really good quality product. And she's like, guess what, Shahida, it's only 50 Rand. I'm like, wow, all this material, how do you even make money? You know, that was my question. And anyway, she ended up being there. She was sold out. She was like shocked. She sold out. Phoned her hubby and said, hey, bring the rest of the stuff from home. And, you know, she had a ball of a time. But she actually called me afterwards and she said, you know what, Shahida? There was a scout at the show.
A scout?
A scout from a big company. Okay. And I'm like, wow.
So that's for clothing lines and stuff like that, yeah.
And she said, this designer fell in love with my snood and is ordering large quantities from me. And I was like, wow, that is absolutely amazing.
And that's empowerment.
You know, and she's like, wow, I made so much money on the weekend, but I now have constant work for the next 3 years. What more could you possibly want than constant work, making money and getting that exposure? And that really made me feel good about the show in its totality. You know that this woman from, you know, a little place in Salt River is now gonna, you know, grow, and it's not only looking after her, it's her husband who couldn't work and 5 kids. And I was like, that's fantastic.
Correct. Now, Shahida, you personally, what we perceive to this point is you're a mover, a shaker, you're busy making it happen. You seem to be having this inspirational ideas that you take from paper and you put them out there and you make them happen. I know that your personal journey has also been an interesting one, and we chatted about that early on. It's something that I maybe want to talk to you about in a future show. I know you have a very inspirational story to talk about with regards to the challenges regarding your parents and that sort of thing. And sometimes it's my opinion and belief that those challenges and those philosophies and that need to self-actualize and become a self-actualizing individual that has this positive energy that I pick up from you, comes from one's life experiences and those ideologies and philosophies linked to your motivations. Now, many people watching the show now look up to people like yourself, especially the women out there that says, I'm sort of stuck in my little bubble at home. I haven't had these opportunities. I believe that those opportunities only come if you make them happen for yourself. What's your advice to other ladies out there that says, I've got this idea, I want to be Shahida, I want to be able to do what I do and make that little change?
Okay. You know what, Faizal, it's all about self-belief at the end of the day. You know, you really have got to believe in yourself. And like I said, take that initiative, you know, go out there, you know, whatever it may be, whether it be an idea or you want to be a designer or you want to start a little, I don't know, hairdresser, whatever it may be.
I see you thinking about your mom.
I am. I am.
Do you think she'd be proud of you today?
Immensely.
So it's a very inspiring story and something I really want to talk about on the upcoming shows. And I'm going to keep our viewers in the bracket in that, not tell you what it's all about, but I know it's a very inspiring story. And therefore we need to support people like Shahida and what she's doing, because there are greater journeys behind people and you become part of that journey as you go along. Your advice to the public?
You know, Faizal, sorry for getting emotional about it, but it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and I'm just so thankful that I sit here with you today and I can actually tell my story and help people out there, whether it be in business or just motivating them. You know, don't let anything stop you. You know, go for it. That's all that I can say. You know.
Shahida van der Schijf, she's the CEO of the event coming up, and she's getting me to also to adopt some tears. It happens now and then on the show, but I love these inspiring stories, and I'll tell you why you need to support this particular event, and that's because Shahida has a story, and she has a motivational story, one of empowerment. She's an embodiment of motivation, development, belief, understanding, and sometimes when we get behind these people, we drive that force and that vision. So it's your prerogative to go down to the Expo, the Factory Shop Expo happening in Cape Town. The details are on screen. Until next time, thank you for joining us. Goodbye.